In the few minutes it takes to watch this, every single click you make, every keystroke, and maybe even where you are physically, it could all be getting logged. With this huge shift to remote work, a new kind of supervisor has shown up, a digital one. So today, we're going to dig in and ask, just how much does your boss really know about what you're doing all day?
No, I'm serious. Take a second and think about it. Right now, as you're watching this, could your screen be monitored? Your mouse clicks logged? Could software be scanning your private chats? Look, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. For millions and millions of people, this is just the new reality of their workday.
And we're not talking about a tiny fraction of the workforce here. The way we work has completely changed. A whopping 58% of the entire workforce is now remote in some way, shape, or form. And that's created this huge new challenge for companies. How on earth do you manage a team that you can't actually see?
Well, in response to that challenge, a lot of companies have turned to technology. And that's led to the explosion of this new category of software that people have started calling bossware. These are the tools that are designed to give managers a digital window, so to speak, into what their teams are up to.
Okay, so what is bossware exactly? Well, to put it simply, it's software that gets installed on an employee's computer to monitor what they're doing. Now, the official goal is usually something like improving productivity, but its capabilities, well, they can go way beyond that, often right into the territory of full-blown surveillance.
So that's the big question, right? What can these digital supervisors actually see? I gotta tell you, the depth and the sheer range of the monitoring, it might actually surprise you.
Look, this goes way, way beyond just checking to see if you're logged in. We are talking about incredibly detailed surveillance. Some of these tools can track your physical location using GPS. They can log every single keystroke you type. They can see every app and every website you visit. They can take random screenshots of your screen, monitor your private chats, and even, get this, analyze the tiny movements of your mouse to decide if you're active or idle.
And these tools have become super specialized. This is not a one-size-fits-all market. You've got software like Kickler that offers live screen viewing and video recording. You've got Apploy that's all about keystroke monitoring. Then there's Connect Team for tracking field teams with GPS. It is a massive industry. Though, it's interesting. Some, like ActiveTrack, are starting to shift their focus away from pure surveillance and more toward privacy-conscious analytics.
So as you can probably imagine, this level of monitoring comes with some really serious consequences. When companies implement these tools, they're walking straight into a legal and, maybe even more importantly, a trust minefield.
Companies using this stuff are basically fighting a war on two fronts. On one side, you have these huge legal risks, from Europe's GDPR to all kinds of state-specific laws. But on the other side, the human cost is just immense. Study after study shows this kind of monitoring leads to way more stress, lower morale, and a complete breakdown of trust, which ultimately just drives your best people away.
And if you want to put a number on that legal risk, just look at Europe's GDPR. A single violation can lead to fines of up to 20 million euros, or 4% of a company's global revenue, whichever one is higher. I mean, the financial stakes here are absolutely massive.
And that really brings us back to the human cost. This isn't just about legal paperwork. It's about the very culture you are trying to build. As one analysis puts it, excessive surveillance can increase employee stress, lower morale, and damage long-term trust. And let's be honest, a culture of surveillance is rarely a culture of long-term success.
So, given that all this constant monitoring is basically a minefield of risks, the whole conversation is starting to shift, and that's a good thing. The focus is moving away from tracking every little action and moving toward a much smarter metric: results.
This really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? What's the goal here? Is it to have someone who looks busy or someone who actually gets things done? I mean, if an employee is delivering incredible results, does it really matter if they took a 30-minute break to walk their dog? The focus is shifting away from just activity and toward actual accomplishment.
And this really represents a fundamental pivot from inputs to outputs. The old way of thinking was all about measuring effort, how many keystrokes, how many clicks, how many hours you were at your desk. The new, much smarter model is about measuring actual results, tasks completed, customers satisfied, projects delivered on time. It's a shift that values performance over mere presence.
You know, the economist Paul Krugman famously said that productivity is what really drives success over the long haul. And real productivity, it isn't about how many hours you log. It's about the value you create. That's the metric that actually moves the needle for a business.
So where is this all headed? Well, we're seeing a really clear evolution in how we think about work, about management, and about what it really means to be productive. And what's really interesting is that the industry itself was starting to change. Faced with major privacy backlash, and the simple fact that these metrics don't actually correlate with performance, the most invasive features like continuous screenshots and keystroke logging are already declining in use. The market is finally starting to adapt.
So, at the end of the day, the future of work isn't heading towards more surveillance. It's actually heading towards more trust. It's a fundamental shift away from this digital micromanagement and toward a modern approach that empowers people by focusing on what truly matters, their results.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In this new world of work, what should we be rewarding? The appearance of being busy or the reality of achieving great things? Because the answer to that question is what will define the workplaces of tomorrow.